Hey, what's up, y'all? It's popping. It's D. About to react to this vid by Naomi Cannibal. This is the Cheetah Girls, a messy breakup. Okay, so she's gonna go over why they broke up and the messy details surrounding it. I don't really know too much about the Cheetah Girls. I know they were like really popular at some point. I don't know why actually. I just thought of them as very cringy Disney people, and I'm like, why is Raven Simone here? Why is 3LW here? Minus the other chick. I was very confused. Who's this white girl? I had so many questions, but you know, I never got into the Cheetah Girls. But sure, we're gonna see what happened with them and why they broke up. Let's watch.
What are we gonna do?
This reminds me. So I just recently went to Barcelona with two of my friends. And it was one of my friend's idea for us to go to Barcelona. And I was like, let's do it. Let's go. She later told me that she only wanted to go to Barcelona because she saw it on the Cheetah Girls when she was younger. I was like, girl.
Do it or not. Because I've got somewhere to be. Then go on, Dorinda. We're going to be doing music anyway, so since you mostly dance. You know what? You're right. That is what I mostly do.
The Cheetah Girls were one of Disney's most successful music groups and still one of their most successful music acts to date.
Wow.
They completed multiple successful world tours and made us all want to take a trip to Barcelona when we were little. The Cheetah Girls are making a comeback in popularity.
Okay, my nerdy friend wasn't alone. Damn, my bad. Still nerdy though to say it as an adult. I was like, bitch, this why we here. But I had a great time in Barcelona. Anyway.
Thanks to renewed interest in all things Y2K, and it made me wonder, whatever happened to the Cheetah Girls? It seemed like one day they were everywhere, and then after the third movie, they just kind of seemed to fall off. And the vibes were always weird with Raven because she always seemed kind of half in and half out of the Cheetah Girls. But anyways, let's take a look and see what happened to the Cheetah Girls. The Cheetah Girls consisted of 4 aspiring pop stars from various ethnic and economic backgrounds. Raven Simone was cast as Galleria Garibaldi, the leader of the Cheetah Girls. Adrienne Bailon played Shanell, Keely Williams was Aqua, and Sabrina Bryan played Dorinda. In the book series the films are based off of, Keely's character Aqua has a twin sister, but for the movies they kind of just combined them into one character. Solange was originally supposed to play Aqua, which would have been awesome, but she was working on her debut album at the time. To most of us, the most popular member of the Cheetah Girls is probably Raven Simone, because she was also starring on That's So Raven at the time. She was also an established child actor before ever making it on the Disney Channel. 2 of the other members, Keely Williams and Adrienne Bailon, had previously been members of 3LW, an R&B group that had been popular in the early 2000s. Other than for their music, the group is remembered for all of the drama that transpired between Keely, Adrienne, and the 3rd member of the group, Naturi Naughton. The 4th member of the Cheetah Girls was Sabrina Bryan, a singer and dancer who actually began her acting career as part of the movie. The Cheetah Girls made their debut in the 2003 Disney movie of the same name. Though the movie didn't get a theatrical release, as was common for Disney at the time, it was a smash success. A lot of people don't know this, but the movie was actually produced by Whitney Houston. The Cheetah Girls focused on 4 New York teens attending a performing arts high school, trying to achieve the goal of having their music group become the first freshmen to win the talent show. Outside of that, the girls had ambitions of becoming international pop stars one day too. The Cheetah Girls quickly became a phenomenon mostly among elementary school age girls. The movie gave us hit songs like Cinderella, Together We Can, and Cheetah Sisters. Disney released a soundtrack to accompany the film, later becoming a standard practice for them. The soundtrack sold over 2 million copies and reached number 33 on the Billboard 200. I actually had a copy of the CD when I was younger, and I was obsessed with it until it mysteriously went missing one day.
That's my favorite.
And I was honestly no exception. With catchy music, trendy fashion, and a focus on friendship, it was hard to meet a little girl in the early 2000s who wasn't a fan of the Cheetah Girls or didn't have a special bond with at least one of the characters. I myself was a Galleria girl. Surprisingly, Disney had never intended for the Cheetah Girls to expand beyond a film franchise, especially after scrap plans for a television series. However, the soundtrack did so well that Disney decided to have the Cheetah Girls become an actual touring music group. They would later follow this formula with other acts like High School Musical, Hannah Montana, and the Jonas Brothers. The Cheetah Girls became a massive phenomenon and quite honestly a brand. Aside from their tour, the Cheetah Girls had a clothing line, bedroom decor, perfumes, and video games. I was obsessed with the little singing Nintendo DS game, and I'm sure my whole family was sick of me. The Cheetah Girls were Disney's biggest moneymaker at the height of their success. They sold over 11 million albums, and their second tour grossed over $40 million. They became a legitimate music act outside of the films, releasing singles like Fuego and dropping their own Christmas album. In all, the Cheetah Girls did 3 successful films, with the later 2 involving travel to Spain and India, respectively. Their multiculturality served the purpose of entertaining a lot of their Western audiences with music and dance they hadn't seen before, but it also increased their global appeal. Disney seemed to have a winning formula with their latest girl group, so why did it seem like the Cheetah Girls just sort of ended one day? The first of the Cheetah Girls to become noticeably absent from group activities was Raven. It seemed like initially a lot of
Who the fuck is this?
This had to do with scheduling conflicts. At the time of the first and second movies, Raven was starring on That's So Raven, one of the biggest Disney Channel shows at the time. Adrian actually also had a small role on That's So Raven as the school bully Alana. Obviously, as the face of That's So Raven, it was a lot harder for Raven to bow out of promotions and filmings for that than it was for the Cheetah Girls. It also seemed like Raven had initially taken on the project because no one had any idea the Cheetah Girls would become as huge as they did, so she probably didn't think it was going to cause many conflicts in the future. Due to those scheduling conflicts and wanting to pursue a solo music career, Raven was absent from the music.
This just does not look right on her head. It has nothing to do with the texture of the hair. It's just the shape, the positioning of the wig. It's just not. Let's move
Tours
on.
the girls would go on in between the films. Despite being absent from the tour, Raven reprised the role of Galleria in the Cheetah Girls 2 and also co-produced the film. By the time filming began for Cheetah Girls 2, Raven said she felt ostracized by the other girls since they'd grown closer without her. Honestly, it was sort of to be expected with them touring and promoting together on top of filming, so it seemed like they just grew closer and Raven wasn't around for a lot of the time that they were spending together. Aside from this, Raven claims that drama on set was also beginning to drive a wedge between her and the other cheetahs. Rumors of infighting surfaced, though it wasn't exactly clear at the time what the problem was. Way later, Raven revealed that the drama was between her and Keely, and it was so intense that she probably would have gotten arrested in Barcelona were it not for her on-screen mom keeping her cool. To be fair, it has been said numerous times that Keely is a messy mean girl, and it seems like she was the main source of the drama in 3LW also. Regardless of the beef between Keely and Raven, the Cheetah Girls 2 was even more successful than the first film. It had us all thinking we could speak Spanish and begging our parents to visit Barcelona. The Cheetah Girls 2 became Disney's most watched movie premiere at the time, and a successful Sans Raven tour followed. After the release of the Cheetah Girls 2, the girls were trying even harder to leverage their success into a music career outside of Disney. They were working on an album of original songs, different from the movie soundtracks that they'd released previously. The Cheetah Girls wanted to create a musical identity separate from Disney, as well as try to appeal to an older fan base. The album was supposed to have songs produced by will.i.am and Timbaland, and though this didn't happen, the album, TCG, was released in late 2007. The album debuted at 44 on the Billboard 200. Raven was noticeably absent from the album. She didn't sing on it, and she wasn't on the cover, and she didn't join the girls on tour that year. It seemed like 2 versions of the Cheetah Girls were forming, the Disney movie version with Raven and the real-world version without her. Raven instead continued working on a solo music career and continued to act in movies like College Road Trip. Though they were enjoyable, they didn't gain the tens of millions in revenue that the Cheetah Girls activities were. The final Cheetah Girls film, The Cheetah Girls One World, was released in 2008. By this time, the group had been going strong for 5 years. The final film took place in India, and Bollywood heavily influenced the music, choreography, and costuming for the movie. Raven didn't return for the movie at all, leaving Keely, Sabrina, and Adrian to attempt to carry the film on their backs. Spoiler alert, they did not. And I think it was for a couple reasons. One, Raven was the most charismatic and most known member of the group. Though it had become expected not to see her on tour, she was still more or less the face of the Cheetah Girls movies. Often her character drove the plot, and it seemed that she was the main character of the movies, despite them being a girl group. With her absent, the movie just seemed to kind of be missing something. After all, Galleria was the only character in the movie who seemed slightly interested in actually becoming a singer and actually trying to work. And it was hard to watch the movie and ignore the elephant in the room that Raven wasn't there at all. Adrian revealed that with Raven absent, she had to carry the group vocally as far as the soundtrack was concerned, while Keely and Sabrina focused more on dancing. Sabrina was never much of a singer, and Keely has since admitted that she can't sing. Another reason was that the fans, as well as the Cheetah Girls themselves, were simply growing up. Fans who were around for the first film were now 5 years older, and their interests had likely matured too. Cheetah Girls 3 had the lowest rated premiere, with only 6 million viewers. I feel like a lot of us don't remember the Cheetah Girls falling off because we just weren't even keeping up with them by then. Adrian herself said that it was hard for the Cheetah Girls to continue playing teenagers in the movies when in real life they were in their mid-20s. Their attempt to age up their music hadn't really taken, and they still wanted to pursue more adult interests, so it looked like that would have to happen entirely outside of the Cheetah Girls at this point. Disney itself was also losing interest in the Cheetah Girls. Acts like Hannah Montana, the High School Musical tour, and the Jonas Brothers were at the height of their popularity, and it seemed more lucrative to put their focus there rather than on a group that was losing their popularity. After the third movie, the Cheetah Girls did their last tour, and the group officially disbanded in December of 2008. Though the Cheetah Girls were no more, that didn't exempt them from all of the controversy surrounding their disbandment. While it had been obvious that the girls were losing popularity, it had also been obvious that the group had been clouded by a lot of drama. It was evident that after their split, the girls hadn't really remained friends despite having spent the better part of the last decade working together. Though they disbanded over a decade prior, the late 2010s and early 2020s were full of Cheetah Girls drama, despite the girls being in their mid-30s and having long since pursued separate careers. During her time hosting The View, Raven Simone spoke about the drama that came with filming the Cheetah Girls. This is where she actually made the comment about thankfully not getting arrested for dragging Keely in Barcelona.
We've known each other for a very long time.
A very long time.
That's why I can call you Mama.
Yes, you can. I love it.
She played my mother on the Cheetah Girls 1 and 2, and during one of these movies. And if it wasn't for her...
Barcelona.
If it wasn't for her, y'all would have had to bail me out of jail in Barcelona.
Stop it.
But we're not going to talk about it.
Adrian and Keely, who had been bandmates since the late 90s, seem to have turned from close friends to enemies. Keely's sister and former 3LW manager Teese Williams alleged via Twitter that the Cheetah Girls actually only broke up because Adrian's nudes were leaked. In 2013, Adrian eventually became a reality TV host herself and was part of the cast in The Real. In multiple episodes, she alluded to negative experiences she had with a certain group member. She seemed to be talking about Keely when she mentioned that growing up, she worked with a girl who belittled her and spread rumors about her.
I had a best friend for a really long time, one of my childhood best friends, and we're no longer friends.
Of course.
And it's sad because my mom would always tell me, be careful, Adrian, I'm telling you, there's something there, she's jealous of you, and there's something there, and I would be like, no, Ma, she loves, and like weird things happen, rumors would get spread, and you'd be like, where did this come from? And it would always somehow get back to her.
Wow.
But I would like defend her, and my mom would be like, that girl is not your friend, she's, like a friend of me.
Keely didn't take too kindly to Adrian's revelation, though Adrian never even named her. She went on Instagram Live to refute Adrian's claims, stating Adrian would never want to talk things out on The Real because she'd have to admit that she'd been a fake friend.
I don't think Adrian wants to, have live TV with me. Because, she's going to have to say, yes, Keely, I did pretend to be your best friend. And now, I am not. It's like, you were either lying then or you're lying now. You either were my best friend and now you're just not claiming me, or you were pretending to be my best friend and now you're telling the truth. So that's why I don't think that's going to happen. But
in fact, they haven't spoken since the last day of the Cheetah Girls One World Tour. However, Teese Williams had spoken about Adrian several times since, saying Adrian's affairs with married men had also ruined the Cheetah Girls' image, and that her relationship with Rob Kardashian was just a publicity stunt. In this same Instagram Live, Keely refuted claims that she outed Raven, which was the rumored cause of their fighting in Spain. Oddly enough, she said that she and Raven had been pretty close during filming, and the only slight change in dynamic was when Raven became their boss since she was producing the movie. Keely accused Raven and Adrian's reunion of being for the sake of promoting Raven's new music, hinting that it was all fake. She said her time as a Cheetah Girl was one of the best times of her life, and that despite the bad memories, she had a lot of great ones. In 2015, Raven had appeared on The Real, having a mini reunion with Adrian. They joked about their past days as Cheetah Girls, reminiscing about the movies they'd made together. About being a former Cheetah Girl, Raven said everyone has friendship and understanding within them. The two talked to each other and joked around like old friends, and any possible drama that had been between them seemed to be long gone. During a Q&A on The Real, Adrian said she'd 100% be down to reprise her role as Alana. In 2021, she did just that, playing Alana in an episode of Raven's Home, the That's a Raven spinoff. Alana's character was now the principal of their old high school, which Raven's children now attended.
What's your name?
Booker Baxter Carter.
Baxter Carter. I used to go to school with a Devon Carter. Had a huge crush on him.
That's my dad.
Until he was stolen from me by my nemesis, Raven Baxter. Any relation?
I didn't know that lady.
That's funny.
In a 2021 interview with ET, Keely revealed that she was still close with Sabrina. Keely was in her wedding in 2018, and she was one of the first people Sabrina announced her pregnancy to in 2020. Keely said she and Adrian still didn't talk and alluded that it was due to dishonesty on Adrian's part. The interview that Keely was doing was for a show on BET called The Encore, which was a sort of reality show that was composed of former girl group members. So during this interview, Keely kind of tried to break down the stigma that girl groups can't work together, which I found kind of ironic because Keely is allegedly the reason why two of her girl groups failed.
She's clearly the reason.
I've been in 2 multi-platinum successful groups, and they weren't disbanded.
And I've been the biggest one in their school together.
I know, but you weren't in it.
I wasn't in it. I sold $19 million on Say My Name.
I know, but did you? Did you?
Absolutely, I sang. Say my name, say my name.
Regardless, Keely said that she...
I remember that fucking clip and I watched it many, many times because that shit was hilarious. But you weren't in it. You could tell this bitch is shady as hell. She's shady as fuck.
felt a Cheetah Girls reunion.
And imagine how she was when she was younger. If she doing this at her old grown age, acting like this and being this petty and shady, imagine.
It was more likely than a 3LW reunion because the 4 of them were professionals. She said what they accomplished on the Cheetah Girls was something all 4 of them would be proud to return
say
to.
my names.
Again, Keely maintained that she had no part in ostracizing or bullying Raven, and hadn't even felt that it was possible because Raven was her boss. Raven and Keely did finally reconnect on a joint Instagram Live in 2020, which seems to be Keely's favorite mode of communication. Keely said that she'd never had any intentions of hurting Raven, and Raven said that she let go of any ill will towards Keely. Raven also confirmed that Keely had never tried to out her. She did call Keely messy though. Though it seems that Raven and Keely were able to hash everything out, Keely was adamant about refusing to make amends with Adrian. She'd said that Adrian didn't attend her father's funeral or even bother to reach out to offer her condolences. Keely said she'd been nothing but a friend to Adrian, despite how she may have treated other people in the past. Raven tries to advise Keely to put her pride aside and talk to Adrian because it could open the door to a possible Cheetah Girls reunion in the future.
Who the fuck?
I think the funniest part of this live was Keely admitting that the Cheetah Girls 3 flopped just because Raven wasn't in it.
It was fine in India. It was fine in the tours. Like,
I was in India. I was so jealous I got to go to India.
Why were you jealous? You could have been.
Because my whole house is decorated like India.
I know it is.
Ooh, that's how serious I was, that I was hurt. That's how serious I was. I didn't even get to go to the country that my whole house is decorated out of. I was hurt, girl.
You would have liked it.
Oh,
I'm sorry. You would have liked it. You would have liked it. And the movie would have done better.
It honestly seems like the Cheetah Girls broke up for a lot of reasons. Some of them were uncontrollable, like them being phased out by other Disney stars. But a lot of the drama and back and forth definitely wasn't necessary, and it doesn't seem like it helped. It seems like for the most part though, everyone has made their peace, or as much peace as they're willing to make, and have gone on to have their own separate careers and get married. All 4 of them have said that they're open to a Cheetah Girls reunion, whatever that might look like. It seems like despite any of the drama that the group had, they're all aware of the impact they had on a generation of young girls, and that will always transcend the drama. They certainly wouldn't be the first Y2K besties turn enemies to reunite, so anything could happen. But who knows, only time will tell. Down in the comments, please.
Shout out to Naomi Cannibal. She did a good job at putting this whole story together, finding these clips and all that. Y'all go support her, subscribe to her channel, all that. But fuck out of here. Some Cheetah Girls reunion. Y'all, don't do it because y'all gonna look a hot ass mess. Nobody wants to see that, okay? Nobody wants it. Keely is messy as fuck, and I believe that she is the sole reason that both of her groups broke up because she ain't shit. She throw chicken wings at bitches' heads and talk behind people's back, spread rumors, all that. I've seen it over the years. So yeah, interesting story, even though, like I said, I did not know much about the Cheetah Girls at all. I cannot sing one Cheetah Girl song. I wasn't into it. I just wasn't. I wasn't into a lot of, like, corny stuff. I don't know what to tell y'all. You know, people be really surprised that, oh, you didn't watch this, or you didn't see this Disney show as a kid. You wasn't really. No, nigga. Like, I was outside hanging with my friends, and I would come home. I would watch music videos a lot as a kid, and play video games. I watched wrestling. You know, things like that. But I was not into, like, the cheesy little girly stuff like this, or even the cheesy non-girly stuff like High School Musical and shit like that. I just wasn't into that type of stuff. I thought it was so corny. Even as a kid, I was like, this is so whack. Like, oh my god. I don't know. Anyway, good video overall though. Y'all let me know what y'all thought. Let me know what other videos you want to watch, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.